wrong.
Yeah.
Not just a typo or getting a...
Or not just saying wrong text, right?
Yeah.
Here's another one. I'll go quickly. This is one I saved though, Daemon. I didn't tell. I showed Anthony and Daemon.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't say this one first.
This is from me and Rich George hosted the top 100 comic book characters, right? Whatever it was. Maybe heroes. It was heroes. Sorry. And this was pulled together by the entertainment team and the comics team down in LA. Rich and I had no opinion on this. We were just the biggest comic fans in SF and needed the video, so we did it. So we did it, and this kid tweeted over about me this weekend. Or that weekend. Thanks, IGN, for having that dreadful Game Over Greg drive its top 100 comic book heroes list into the salted earth. Know your comics, you hack. Oh, I have content to you too. I respond, anytime you send something to me, I respond and go, thanks for listening, thanks for reading. I don't care. I'm not going to engage because I have all of you in this room and all the people who listen to podcasts who want to have real conversations with me. So I responded back, and usually that shut them up. He responds, you're aware I'm calling you a dipshit, right? And then he continues to flame me on his thing. And this is one of the few occasions where I'm like, fuck it, I'm going after this kid. I Facebook him, I find where he works, I find out he's in school. I go to the school page, find out their code of conduct, get down the location and contact hours. I am like fuming at my iPad, and I have all this information, and I'm telling Steimer, I'm like, I'm going to call his boss tomorrow, and I'm going to call his principal, or not principal, but his like university president, and tell them that there are ramifications when things happen on the internet. You shouldn't be just out there in a public forum calling people names.
And then he took a breath.
Luckily I calmed down, I slept on it, but I knew I was being crazy. This is another fun one. Me and Tina did a Journey video. This kid posted on the comments there that, this is a preview of the Journey beta. So to review this artistic and mellow freeform gaming experience, you pick a hyperactive, annoying moron and a hippie. You sure are funny. He goes on there.
Tina is it.
Yeah. He continues on railing, and my response was, thanks for pointing out that this was a review. I give the beta coconuts out of TVs and your next. That's probably my best thing I've ever read.
I'm always baffled by how many people find it difficult to distinguish between a preview and a review.
Yeah. Real quick, too, here's the Reddit thread. Remember, I reviewed Dead Space 2. This is when IGN was trying to branch out and put, trying to toy with our reviews, do with personality-driven pieces. I wrote this very personal Dead Space 2 review. Hillary read it and was like, this is awesome. This is exactly what a pair is wanting our reviews to do. Great job. We posted it, a few days go by, Rob was like, you're blowing up on Reddit. And I go, what the fuck is Reddit? I go to Reddit and it's just a store filled with people hating me. Does anyone else think a middle school kid wrote the Dead Space 2 review for IGN? And just like Levi, I'm totally down with criticism. I'm far from perfect. I'm probably, I'm rusty as hell at everything.
Everybody on the site knows that sometimes we put up stuff that we wish we could have made a little bit better. It just happens. It's just the reality of working in an online business. It's one thing when you have time for it to go through 7 editors and all that because it's a month out, but oftentimes that's just not the way the internet
is. My problem was though that there was no comments. It was your middle school. You're right, he sucks. Fuck him, he's fat too, I heard. I said, wait, no, what's wrong with the review? So then I blocked him and I said, what is wrong with the review? My email address is this, please send me the email.
You made a horrible mistake.
No, it's not. I'm never going to run. I'm never going to be afraid to talk to somebody about something I did. I put it up. It's got my name on it. Let's go. And not in a defensive way, in a way, really, what's wrong? So I put it up, and of course, then there was another Reddit that said, oh, somebody hurt the journalist's feelings. And I'm like, what? What did you want? You told me this sucked. Now tell me why. I'm not hurt. I want to know. And I got, probably a good 25 responses in saying, this is what's wrong, this is why it is, blah, blah. And then I got 100 that were, fuck you, faggot. Come on. And then, of course, other sites picked it up. This is another game journalist. I'm not familiar with them. Basically, this is a regular Dead Space 2 sucks. And then again, this is something that comes up. The kids on Reddit went through and made a highlighted version of what was wrong and did it. My problem with their amended red pen version of it is that some of it's totally just a style choice. They're like, I don't know why you're doing this, blah, blah. And then I loved it when my defenders went in there and corrected the red pen corrections. So, I mean, yeah, we all want information. We all want information, we want to know how to make ourselves better, but we want it in a restricted, constructive way.
I think to touch on something though that Daemon said is that sometimes people don't know the difference between a preview and a review. I think that's though partially because IGN and a lot of sites, previews used to be very flat. And yes, they used to be objective. You talk about the game, but we'll see how it is in 2 months.
And not only that, but it could have been any number of editors doing it. You could never tell, this was Greg, because I know Greg likes Dead Space a lot, so I should think about the way Greg views Dead Space. No one had any clue about that. now that's just not the case. I mean, people know us through podcasts, and I think that, you know, they can immediately go to our IGN blogs and like that. They just know us a little bit.
IGN's audience has grown exponentially over the past few years, really since we've been at it.
Yeah, totally.
And it's during that time that we've changed our voice a lot, changed our approach to reviews and previews. Our reviews are a lot shorter, more concise now. God, the Grand Theft Auto 4 review is like 7 pages long.
It was 8 pages.
We would never write an 8-page review for anything anymore because we realized that people they're not going to read that. There's a very, very small, hardcore group of people that will read an 8-page review.
Even when we write 2-page reviews, you can look. The drop-off is pretty significant. Most people are just like, skip to the second page, give me the fucking
What's
score.
the score?
Okay.
What's the graphics breakdown?
Greg, what's the only thing I want to know from a game review?
You want to know if it's fun?
It's true. The games are supposed to be fun. Just tell me if it's fun and why not. So, you know, we changed our approach to reviews that way, and with previews, we start to inject more personality and honesty into them. Because we feel like it's not doing anybody a service if we're not being honest about, you know, what shape the game is, and what the game looks like.
And I feel like back in the day, like a lot of the way that went from the outside that I used to look at IGN and think, wow, they kind of are like this faceless thing. I don't understand why they succeed and stuff. And I don't even think that was your fault. Like, it wasn't that the editors didn't have amazing personalities. They did it on podcast. It was just that the mandate was a little bit different from the people that were kind of in charge of the editorial division and stuff.
We were still very much in the magazine style. You know what I mean? That's one of the big things when Hillary took over EIC. He's gone now, obviously. But when he took over, it was that he wanted to bring it out. We needed to change the site. We couldn't sit there and be static. We couldn't sit there and be, okay, there are 14 maps. There's this difficulty in that. It looks like shit, but I won't tell you that. I will say it might shape up.
And you did that recently with your Call of Juarez preview.
Yeah, and a Connect preview for this game called Wipeout 2.
Oh yeah, that's
It's not Wipeout the racing game, it's Wipeout 2 based on the ABC show, right? That game comes out in Call of Juarez.
You just reviewed Wipeout.
I know Call of Juarez, I saw the latest Call of Juarez, I saw it a month out. And a month out, you know that game's already been shipped to go to to make discs and all.